We are live. Hey everybody, it's your girl, Mother from Mama, the undisputed African Queen. We are speaking on Put a Ring on It. If y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up. I'm waiting for exactly Erica and Goody. Goody, I don't know. Goody still taking a nap. She called me. She was taking a nap. Not sure if she's still taking a nap. And where is Erica? Come on, Erica, come on. It's your girl, Mother from Mama, the undisputed African queen. Let's get this thing going. It's a Sunday evening. Been live like 3 times today. I'm exhausted. I'm like, let's get this done with you guys. I'm like, let's finish with this. It's Put a Ring on It. I'm speaking on Put a Ring on It. Hey everybody, I'm over here waiting for Goody and Erica. I'm not sure about Goody. Goody must be taking a nap. If you're here for the first time and you have not subscribed to my channel, you only have to listen to Z just so you know what time is it.
She's undisputed. She's Africana. And she's a queen, so you better subscribe. Her name is Mo, Afro Mama. She's on fire, so get to subscribing. The button's right there, right there. Please subscribe. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! Oh my god!
You got that right. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe is the message. I'm waiting for Goody and exactly. Oh, here is Erica. All right. Let's add Erica. Hey, girl. What's going on?
Jessica. Nothing much. What's going on with you?
Well, we missed you yesterday. Were you not supposed to be on? Were you not supposed to be on the panel yesterday?
No, which panel?
Put a ring on it and ready to love, no?
No. No. I mean, I would love to do them, but I joined, I think I became a mentee or whatever after those panels were already going. So,
oh, I see.
Yeah. So no. I mean, but I think I would be better on Put a Ring on It because I didn't go back. I've seen like maybe the last 4 seasons of Ready to Love. I didn't go all the way back. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I'm not going all the way back. And then I was like, I mean, I like it, but I didn't like it that much. So I was like, okay, I'm starting so I think I started watching it maybe the first DC season. So I saw both the DC seasons and both of the Miami seasons, but I didn't see all those I don't think I yeah. But Put a Ring on It was cool because they didn't have as many seasons, so I did go back and watch those.
Right. It's just
so it was just easier because it was only 2 seasons. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch all of them, and it was no big deal. But I was like, all those Ready to Love seasons, I was like, oh, all those people that are not relevant anymore, I'm not going back. So I was like, forget it. Well, I mean, I'm not saying they're not relevant. They are relevant to whoever they're relevant to, but that's what happens when you're on a game show. You can't remember all the time. So it's fun.
Kamisha did an interview with Natasha.
I know. I was watching it. I didn't get to see it live. I watched I think I watched half of it because it was so interesting, and I saw later that because I was kind of running errands today, but I saw that you did a review on it, and I kind of want to go back and watch it too because it seemed like when I saw it, I didn't see the end, so maybe she finally came clean.
No, she did not.
But she kept saying, "I don't want to walk myself through that door, but I'll answer some questions." So I was like, "Okay." I was like, okay, well, Kamisha asked her the question. Did you sleep with him or not? Like, maybe she wants you to ask her. That's how I took it. I was like, well, she don't
That's
want to
good.
walk through the door, but she
Oh,
wants you to open that door and put a little snack, and then she'll come through or something. So I was like, okay, just ask her.
oh,
And so the part that I saw was interesting. I did like the fact that she clarified that they were dating all up through the process.
yes.
So that was the main thing where it was like, okay, he made it seem like, okay, I hit it after, and maybe he did hit it after a couple of dates, but he kept going back, clearly,
Yes.
whether he did or not.
And then,
So,
and then ghosted her after all that.
oh, okay, yeah, so
That
okay, so I didn't see. I think I only saw the first hour or something. I didn't see the full interview, so I'm like more about halfway through. So he ghosted her, so that's why she
Oh,
got mad. Okay.
yeah. Yeah. Well, but she was not mad enough to tell her to give us the details. I was like, give us the details. Tell us exactly what
But you
happened.
know what? Maybe she's waiting until after the reunion or whatever. Like, I feel like
Tony did
production
not
has to
wait.
tell her something, you
Tony did
know.
not wait after the reunion. Morgan did not wait after the reunion. Why are you waiting after the reunion? For what?
Well, no, because remember she said she didn't know what was happening until Friday, or that's what she said. Then they're getting her these text messages, and then they've already taped the reunion, so something was said at the reunion. So I think she doesn't want to, or I think maybe production, maybe they told her don't spoil the reunion. Because I'm like,
True.
why wouldn't you
That's true.
say, like, if he, like, I get that you want to, you don't want to be, you're like Amber Rose, you don't want no slut shaming. I get all that, but slut shaming or no, like, is he telling the truth or not? Like, if you're
Right.
saying it's a lie, then what's the truth? So that part was interesting, but she, I felt like she didn't want to say it out of her mouth, but she wanted you to ask her so she could say it, because she kept saying, well, I don't want to walk through that door and just defend myself. But if I answer a direct question, so then I kept watching it
And
like,
so
if I had
the
been in the
temptation.
chat, if I had been in the chat, I'd been like, okay, when did you sleep with him? Did you sleep with him? Okay. Like, shoot, the same way Tommy asked, what you mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Tommy
but
was direct. So yeah.
yes. And I also felt like her frustrations was more towards Morgan, which, you know, than Tony. Like she kept defending Tony somehow. Um, and I get it. Like, I get that Morgan's, verbiage, the way she put it, was calling her a low and fruit and all that was uncalled for. But what about Tony? Hey, girl.
Hey, hey,
Hey.
Chica.
Keys was supposed to also do a recap on the interview. I don't know if she's done it. I haven't seen any notification on that.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the girl was ready to
Okay,
speak.
yeah.
She was there for like almost 2 hours. Like, girl,
I know,
you
right? So
know,
that's what I was saying. I was like halfway through, and then I was like, okay, I gotta pause it and go run some errands, but I'll come back to it. But that was my thing. I was like, okay, this, you guys go low and I go high thing was getting on my nerves. I was like, just tell us
yeah,
or don't tell us, but or you're not gonna say. And
right.
but oh no, yeah, I agree with you. That was an issue I had too, because I was like, first of all, Tony told your business to
Mm-hmm.
somebody he was not yet in a relationship with. That's the first
Mm-hmm.
thing. And so that's kind of how you ended up getting exposed out here,
Mm-hmm.
looking halfway. And then oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll check it out tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
My cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you on that. And then I feel like they both kind of are giving Tony a pass. And I'm like, okay, to me, for one, okay, what Morgan said was trifling, of course.
Mm-hmm.
However, if someone told you, oh, okay, they went on a couple of dates or maybe banged the chick on the first night, like she's clearly not ugly, but you can
Like you're gonna
tell.
use others. You're gonna use at that point. You're not thinking. You're angry. You're frustrated. You're gonna use anything that you have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
No, no,
but however, that's how he presented it. He basically made it seem like to us on the TV, he tried to be nice and kiki about it, but basically he's like, well, hey, 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 she threw her number at me. He made her seem thirsty and he
right,
smashed. That's how he brought it to
right,
Morgan. So even
right.
though Morgan may have characterized it in a way that was distasteful, she certainly didn't, based on what we saw, she didn't have the facts like, oh, okay, I've been dating her this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Because Morgan wouldn't have felt the same way, I don't think, if he smashed the other girl, Marcia, because he had been liking her the whole time. That's the way they're showing it. So I'm like, okay, so for you to not be mad at Tony is kind of crazy because it's like she thought you was a hoe because of what he said. Because the way he portrayed the relationship. So now it's like, oh, okay, she's so low and she's so dirty, which she is, but Tony's not innocent. Like both of you all need to be looking at Tony like, okay, first of all, you messy, and why are you, you know,
right? And your kiss my cheek, and you exactly, Erica. The vibe that you got at the end of the interview was the same thing that she started with. She never really, she never really talked about Tony like that, like the way she did with Morgan. So I don't know. I was like, I'm confusion over here. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. So the only tea I felt, at least in the first hour or whatever, the first 45 minutes to an hour that I saw was, okay, we were dating each other the whole time. It wasn't just a couple of dates. Like, and then, you know what I'm saying? So to me, I guess that's her way of saying, whether he hit it the first night or the third date or whatever, we continued to date.
Yes, that's not an issue. That's not an issue. We're not over here saying it's a one night stand. And then she kept talking about, why do we excuse men when men do it? It's fine when women do it. No, baby girl. That's not the argument over here. We're not.
Yeah, and I appreciate, and to me, I appreciate what you're saying, but what's the truth?
Right.
One anyway, like just be 100. Like if you're like, oh, okay, because to me, I feel like if that's what you really think, it's not so much defending yourself, but they done told all your business already, or they told whatever their perspective is on it. So if you really feel like, okay, we shouldn't be shamed, then yeah, I liked him. We exchanged numbers. He got it the next day. If that's okay, if you stand in it. But so it was interesting. So I appreciated her, I appreciated sort of her moral stance or whatever, but I'm like, but you could just tell us what's going on. So you're still not really telling us, but but at least we know that he continued to date her throughout the process. So that should be interesting, so we'll see.
Yes. Kiss my cheek. Kiss my cheek. Why? Why? And then you know what she said? She said, I am not the kind of a person who dates different people at the same time. I don't have energy. I like focusing my energy on one person. So then why are you dating a man who is dating everybody on the show?
Kiss my cheeks. That's exactly a good point. And what was interesting was her response to that was, oh, well, I own it. Okay, well then just own the whole thing and tell us what the heck happened. Like, did you sleep with him on the third date or nah? Like, and that's it, or whatever. So, okay, so he ghosted her later on. Okay, is that what happened? Because I was about to say, I didn't get to the end, but thank you for telling me. Because I was kind of like, she's spending a lot of time going around and not saying what happened.
Yeah,
and then, and so then I was like, okay. And then, but then she kept saying, I'm not going to walk through that door, but I'll answer questions. So you're saying if we ask you, did you sleep with him, you'll tell us? Like, I was so confused by that.
Girl, listen. Well, she never answered that.
Well, I will say that's the sign of a good lawyer. So I'll give her pluses from one lawyer to another. Go ahead, girl. Don't answer no questions. Just talk for a long time.
Yes. For a very long time. Like you're not saying nothing much or anything, different. Yes. And then Tony has the audacity to come and talk to her and ask her about grandma. I think, when they were dating, they got to know each other and she kept, she opened up about family and all that. So it's at the reunion that she sees Tony for the first time after ghosting her a week before the show ends.
Oh, okay.
Tony ghosted her a week before. So even when they're on that getaway and Tony is giving Morgan a hard time because of London, he is over there entertaining Natasha, and we don't know who else he was entertaining.
I mean, that's true. And she made some good points in the fact that on or off the show, you are dating other people. So, I mean, that's valid. He wasn't in an exclusive relationship with Morgan.
Come on.
So, but I think the problem is, to me, Morgan and Tony are so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you're so crazy. You sitting here shooting pool, trying to figure out where Morgan's gonna sleep that night and
Right.
all this other stuff. And it's like, come to find out you have a whole nother person on the side. Like, okay, now you just look crazy.
It was, yeah, yes, it was an entanglement for sure.
Yes. So, yeah, Kamisha, it was a good interview. I mean, it was a good interview, but it was sort of like, okay,
What's
I
new?
don't.
What's new,
I'm
right?
glad you told me that about the ghosted part because I'm like, oh no, I don't have to sit through another 45 minutes. So thank you. Because
Yeah.
she didn't really, like the main tea was they were dating. It was more than just 3 dates because Tony made
Yes.
it seem like she was a hoe. I hit it and quit it.
No,
And so,
and even she explained about the phone exchange, like she never did. They both exchanged phone calls, and immediately she got to the car, there were messages and phone calls from Tony. So Tony should not stop acting like, oh, she's the one who contacted me. No, after they exchanged the phone, their contacts, Tony reached out immediately after she left.
oh, okay, yeah, because I was there for the part where she was like, "Well, how did I throw my number? Did I write it on a paper? Who's writing on it on a paper?" And that was valid too, because it's like, okay, yeah, nobody is slipping you, cards under the table or something. So, so that was good, and so she did do a good, so that part was interesting.
Yeah.
But the whole, I'm above morally explaining what happened. I was like, okay,
Oh, okay.
miss me with that.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. All right.
I wasn't quite there for that. I agree with you because I was just like, okay, then why are you doing this interview the day after the episode? Like,
But,
okay, why are you even doing interviews if that's how you feel? Like, just don't respond.
And Natasha, the only reason your name is coming up after we only saw you for a brief second is because of this entanglement, right? And if you're not here to explain about it, then I mean, why are you here? Why are you
I
here?
know. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I'm glad Kamisha got the interview, but part of me was just like, okay, what would Beyonce do? Because if you're not going to talk about it, then just don't talk about it.
Beyonce.
Beyonce wouldn't even respond. So just go to Beyonce route. If you're gonna go all the way. But this sort of, I don't think women should be shamed. Well, you haven't told us what you did yet, so we can't shame you because we don't even know yet. So tell us.
I was hoping that, when she comes there, she's going to give us the details. This is what happened. Or this, I was waiting for that messiness. And so, when they did not come by, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right. I think she really came to get her digs in on Morgan, which is fair because Morgan basically called you a hoe on national TV. So I see, nobody likes that. But then even Tommy, even in the men's lounge, I felt like Tommy was going kind of hard, like, whoa, okay, you're gonna tell all this girl's business,
Right.
And
right.
And that was the thing too. And then, since we're talking about Ready to Love, did you think Mark Anthony has slept with somebody or no?
I'm not saying anything.
I know, no. And then finally he goes, no entanglements. Oh, okay. So you just slept with somebody. Like, what are you saying, Mark, right now? Like, what are you talking about? The same way you've been doing the show the whole time. Now the last week you moving to New York. What is you talking about?
That pleading the fifth, there's more to it.
I agree. I feel like he must have done something with someone, or something. I think he might not. It might not be a full blown entanglement, but he got caught up somewhere.
Right, and it might not be necessarily Mercedes. Somebody mentioned to me about this Natasha and Tony, but I just did not know it's gonna come out like this.
Right.
I knew about it, but I did not know that Tony is going to talk about it and Morgan is going to talk about.
Oh wow! Okay, that's cool.
Anywho, put a ring on it. Tell me, what are your thoughts on this episode? First of all, your friend left the show, all right?
I told you guys, I was right. You all were like, no, I think they're just going to add another couple. And I was like, why would they do that?
But I feel like Dr. Stacy did not get it right. I mean, Don did not say that he doesn't trust Chance. That's not what the conversation was about. He said, if I speak my truth, she might leave. That doesn't mean that he does not trust Chance. What
But
was
he
the take
did
on that?
say, but then when they, but when they clipped it, he did say, I don't trust her to understand. He did say something about trust
Yeah,
because
he
right when
did.
he said, Chance was like, oh, she put, and he said, he did say something like, not that he said, I don't trust her to, I don't know if he said stay or I don't trust her to understand or
Yes,
something, but he did
yes,
use the term trust in that sentence.
yeah,
So
he
I
did.
was like, okay, I'll let Dr. Stacy have it. But it wasn't quite, I just took it as like sort of psychological interpretation. So she
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, so you don't trust her. The same way she said, Chance, you're betraying yourself. Like some of it was so, like she's taking things a little bit deeper than the surface, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but
You're breaking. Erica, where did you go? You're breaking. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Erica.
oh, you hear me?
Now I
Okay,
can.
1 second. Hold on.
Now I can hear
Okay, you can
you.
hear me
But
now?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say what was crazy is when he was like, "Oh, I'm not depressed anymore." Like just like, "Woo, it's gone. Poof, poof." Like he's like, "Woo, I had some French fries. Now I'm good." Like what? Dude, you were breaking down in tears the last time we saw you on this TV, and now you're like, "Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm straight. I'm straight. I got you, Dr. Stacey. We good. We good." I was just like, okay. I was like, Chance,
And then
girl, you
just take
might
Dr.
need some sort
Yeah.
of emergency whistle or something, because that's straight psychotic right there. That nigga, one minute he's gonna be like he's good, the next minute you're gonna come up missing, boo. So be careful, Chance. I'm here to tell you now, be careful, girl, because that sounds so crazy.
And then he says, so it just disappeared. He's yeah, I'm good. I am okay. You know.
Yeah, that's what people say right before they go on a rampage. So
Gee.
I am telling you right now, that just looked so insane and crazy. I was like, okay, he looks more than depressed. Like that is scary. Like how could he even? I mean, he broke down in tears so quickly when she was
Yes.
like, "Oh, you're in fear," and he just instantly started bawling. And now, just as easily, he's like, "I'm over it." It's like, okay, is this even Dunbar? This might be like Douglas or something. This might be his split personality. I don't even know if this is Dunbar sitting in the chair right now. Like, who is this person? So I don't know. I found it kind of scary, to be honest, where somebody would just be like, "Nope, I'm good." Like, it just didn't seem truthful. It didn't seem I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's a controlling thing, but I don't know. Their vibe, it's like you want the best for them, but it
Right.
came off a little scary.
It's
It kind
like
of came off a little frightening because
yeah, I agree. It's like the fear of the unknown. Like, he is so used to being in control of things, and then now he realizes, oh my gosh, I'm no longer able to control situations, right? uh, and then Chance is, tagging along. She doesn't find anything, like she would have encouraged him at least, let's stay. No, they were all on the same board. That's one thing I give them a credit for. Like, they are not on different pages on anything. They're on the same page all the time.
I agree, and I think again, not to go back to Ready to Love, but it does give me the same Tony and Morgan vibe. Like y'all both crazy.
Mm.
And y'all both need Dr. Stacy and Dr. Nicole, or the ponytail doctor. Y'all need them both
Go.
because I feel like
Listen,
they need it.
Let me tell you one thing. I was, when I was talking, we did a panel with Kamisha, that put a ring on the panel, and then Dr. Stacy, she's really, really not a doctor. It's an honorary degree. The girl
I told you that last week. You didn't want to believe me last week. I told you she didn't have no degree. As soon as she started talking about her mama and her five marriages, I was like, oh, that's because she ain't got no degree. But that's fine. You ain't got to have a degree.
No, but then, no. But then, if you are coming to talk to me, because then I went back to that website and she said, what she does now is she talks to women, single women and divorced women Exactly, that's what it was on her page. Like she talks to single women and divorced women to love themselves and become whole. So that if she's so focused on the women and single women and divorced women, then how is she gonna talk to the Dunbar of the show? How is she gonna talk to men of the show? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then.
Well, didn't she say her daddy been divorced 3 times or something? I thought that was her credential. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that is how she presented it to us. That she learned through experience. Her mama and her daddy. That's what she told us. And her grandmama. All these people been divorced. So
Even grandma was divorced like 50 times. Yeah. So then I'm like, if you also an example of a 2-parent household, how are you equipped to help these couples or give them tools not to become like your mama, daddy, or grandma?
Okay, Maude, I think you need to show some grace. There are a lot of videos on YouTube about relationships. Okay? You don't have to live through everything. You can watch it on YouTube. You can see it on Skillshare. You can take classes at Udemy. You can take stuff online. I mean, not everybody has to go to Harvard or something. I know Dr. Nicole had actual degrees. There are some people have book smarts and some people have common sense. So we're going to let Dr. Stacy go and assume that she has common sense since she don't have degrees. I'm going to give her some slack.
Okay, so
I told y'all last week she didn't have no degree. I said from the beginning, I said as soon as she started talking about her family experience, that's because that's how you always do on an interview. If you don't have education, you talk about your experience. If you don't have experience, you talk about your education. Everybody knows that. So I was like, she started talking about the divorces and the family. I was like, ooh, she ain't got no degree, but they calling her a doctor. That's so interesting.
Oh my goodness. Oh shit.
Oh my God.
She's entertaining to watch.
I know. And I know she felt bad. She lost her first couple. I'm sorry, Dr. Stacy. They walked out. And she was trying everything she could to keep them. She was like, we were on the tip. We were on the tip of some breakthroughs. And I was just like, oh. Yeah. And then now the one part that was funny was when Chance was like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And they wouldn't let her talk. I was like, go ahead, Chance, cut that doctor off. Oh, that was so funny. I was like, okay, come on, Dr. Stacy, start shooting your straight facts. If you got facts, start bringing them.
And at that point, she never
not letting you talk at all.
Yeah. Oh boy!
I was like, poor Dr. Stacy is getting punked. Chance brought that Chicago out. She's like, nah, you're not gonna tell me I betrayed myself by going with the man I love.
I know,
oh, Lord. God. I was like, Chance, please don't come up missing, girl, because he seems crazy. I'm just gonna tell you. He got over that depression too quick. It just looked crazy.
Jeez, I tell you.
I was like, okay. So yeah, so that was interesting. And then it was so funny when she's driving and she's calling them, because I was like, they have a joint phone. Like, was she calling Dunbar or was she calling Chance? Who you calling exactly?
Is she calling the house? Who knows what she was doing?
Right, exactly. That's why I was like, they got a house phone. They don't have their cell phones. I was like, all right, whatever. This is for production. And and then also I was like, I like that they at least told her to her face, because how you just not gonna show up? Just have us sitting here waiting. So that part was kind of crazy. Honestly, that was probably the best part of the episode.
I know, and I think that's what she wanted them to say, because they really are. You see, they are crazy, but you want to watch them, right? Because the rest of the couples are really not interesting, for sure. You know what I mean? What do you think about Ricky and Catherine? First of all, I never saw that pink couch. That pink couch was, took me like, shit, pink couch. Oh my gosh, I was like, what the heck is this color? Like a pink couch. I was like, can somebody give them like an interior designer, like come production, You can do better than this, you know. It's like
Now,
shit.
one thing I can say is, what's her name? Catherine looked so much better on her date with her ex. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, okay. Now she's wearing better clothes. Praise the
Mm-hmm.
Lord. She was looking much cuter. And it was kind of interesting. It seems like I guess he had some of his own. It seemed like maybe she's carrying some baby mama drama baggage from that
Yeah.
relationship. So that was interesting
Mm-hmm.
that he brought that up to her. Um so it was kind of cool. Yeah. What were your thoughts in it? It was like okay. It was kind of dry to me,
I don't
really.
know. It
I mean, I
was
guess he's married, so
from
it's like okay.
the Denver situation, was, and then it's like it's like he's being asked, do you want to go on another date with the girls? I don't want to do it because I don't want to offend Catherine. And then Dr. Stacy is like, no, 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 and I said, okay. I'm like, be a man in some situation. Just say yes. I'm gonna go on a date. You're trying to learn yourself. Oh,
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on Ricky's ex and baby mama, and saying, you have to remember it's never that they were not intimate. It's when she's working at night, and so you have to remember Ricky's house is full house, so then she cannot bring another child over there. It's full. So if he wants to take care of the child, he has to go to the ex's house to sleep there and take care of the kid because mom is away.
yeah. I think with his ex, I thought she seemed cool. She actually seemed like a
Huh?
really cool person, and she seemed to have a good vibe. I think what's interesting is I don't. I would. It would be interesting to find out more about their divorce because it
Give me,
seems
give me one.
like
Talk to the people. Give me one
Rick.
second.
Okay. Oh, she's gone.
No, 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 no. Talk to the people. I'm just gonna get my drink.
Oh my goodness, I need a drink too, girl. Okay. Um, so the thing I was gonna say about Ricky and his ex is, and for those of you who saw it, I think Ricky is more attached than the ex is. So, I think because she was like, "Oh, do you think I'm asking too much or you're crossing the line or whatever?" And his response was, "Well, it's something that I want to do." So I felt like he wants to be over there and he wants to kind of be all in the mix of her life, his ex's life, I should say, and isn't really kind of taking Catherine into consideration. So I think the issue is more so with him and his boundaries as opposed to the ex, because the ex is kind of like he can come or he cannot come over. She didn't seem like she really cared that
She
much.
did not have an issue. That's why she said.
Oh,
She said, maybe we need to go on a date, the three of us, so that we can understand each other, because so that she can see I don't have any issues with her.
yeah, exactly. I think the issue is with Ricky. I think Ricky wants to be up under his ex more. You know what I'm saying? Because she was like, "Oh, do you think you think you're doing too much or whatever?" And he was kind of like, "Well, I want to do it, so it's not too much." So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, what?
Mm-hmm.
Not saying obviously you want to be in your son's life. Oh, now this is what was interesting too,
Mm.
is that she said, "I'm the mother of his son," or whatever, but then they always are talking about kids plural.
She has other
So she's
kids.
taking care of her other. So he's taking, but it sounds like he's taking care of all of the kids
When you go to get
because
this
she's
over there, when you're going to take care of of your son, if the mother of your son is not home, then you're gonna be, taking care of everybody there. I mean, yeah, that's how it sounded, and I think that's how it is.
yeah. So that's interesting.
Financially, is
So
that what you're
that's
saying?
just, I mean, that's what I wonder. That's the question. That's my question, really. Like, obviously, if he's sitting there in the house, it's not like who's ever in the house, obviously, he's going to watch. I get that part. But it's like they keep saying, whenever they're talking about kids, they say kids plural all the time,
Mm-hmm.
except for that one clip where she was like, "Oh, I had his son." Because I was like, "Oh, y'all only have one kid." And then, so I'm curious to see what all is he really doing for all of the kids. And some men are like that. Like I do know men who like their baby mama has three kids and three different daddies, and they are only one of three, and they take care of everybody. Everybody's like their child. So I get it to an extent because if you're, like I get it when you're single and you ain't got nobody, but now when you have a fiance and a family, okay, you know, you all are living with 18 people, so you might not have extra money.
That's exactly
You don't
what I
have
was.
no extra money to take care of 3 kids and not yours.
Yes,
So I'd be curious to find out kind of to what extent is it going beyond just the babysitting or whatever.
I was going to ask you that, and I feel like that's the frustration that Catherine is having. That Ricky doesn't. It's not a guy that you think that he has a lot of money, and by just looking at him. And so I feel like he has too many responsibilities, and I feel like that's what Kathy's frustration is coming from. That you already have so many responsibilities over here, and then when you go over there, instead of just thinking of one, you have to take care of 2, 3, 4. We don't know how many. And so then you never think about Catherine. You never think about buying her flowers. And that's why when she got those flowers, she was walking with those flowers everywhere, in the toilet, the bathroom, the kitchen. She was buying those flowers everywhere because
She's like, thank you. They're right here. I need to see these flowers as soon as I wake up in the morning. They're right here on my nightstand. So like, we gonna be making love, and I can still see my flowers. That's how she was rolling right there.
like when she got those flowers, and then I was hoping that she's gonna put them in a vase and then just leave and go and leave the flowers at home. Oh no, the girl carrying the flowers to the date. I'm like, this is unusual. This is and then I think I'm coming to realize Ricky has no. I don't think Ricky has a car.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like Ricky doesn't have. I feel like he doesn't really have much of a backbone either. Honestly, he seems like Catherine is. Hey, Chris. Yeah, like I feel like Catherine is more in charge. I feel like anybody he's gone out with, they in charge of stuff.
Yes,
and he's kind of like just going along with everything. Yeah, so so that's the thing too. I think Catherine probably wants someone, not not as masculine as Dunbar, but something more than what she's getting from Ricky.
Yeah, even the way Ricky talks, it's okay. I don't want to go on another date because I don't want to offend Catherine. And then Dr. says like, no, you go on another date. Okay. I'm like, brother.
Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, it's like, okay, it's like, man up, dude. Who's wearing the pants?
Yes. Oh my God. You are, he's very tall. He's a handsome guy, right? If he removes those little tiny ponytail he has on his head, or those, cornrow, we call it, but then dude is so occupied. He's occupied. He has no time, to even think about himself, or even to think about those pink couches, because those pink couches. I'm like, remove those pink couches. Like, why are you having pink couches? Jesus.
Okay, they're probably
Erica, I'm telling you,
because they probably live in his. What'd you say? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, now I was gonna say they're probably pink couches because they probably live in his mother's house. Like, who actually owns that house? We need Dina. We need maybe, if I remember, I'll try to do some research by next week. But I'm like, sure, that might not even be. That might be his mama's house. Like, whose house is it?
I think it is. Yes, but I was glad that we did not get to see brother and sister playing those funny cards when the cameras are rolling. At least we never got to see anybody in that house. I was like, thank you, Jesus, this improvement.
Very true. Very true. I agree. Now, what were your thoughts about Josh and Joya? Is that their name?
Yes.
And Joya, or whatever their name is. Okay, I didn't realize he had a daughter too. Like, I was like, oh, y'all both got kids?
You know that.
I was like, they give us new stuff every week because they make it seem like, I don't know. That made me think of it differently now, because I'm like, okay, if you all both have kids, why is she so? No wonder he's like, okay, I don't know if I want another kid right now. He actually has one, and he was married. I could see where he might be like, okay, slow your roll. So.
Yeah, and he kept saying about, he doesn't want to miss out on raising because I think the other one is mostly with mom.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, the girl is saying, she's almost 40, and she's like, you know what, I have a timeline. I want to have a child by this time, So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they've been just knowing each other for about 2 years. So I think those are the discussions that you have, in a relationship like this, I guess, before you settle down.
Yeah, but I thought they were only together for a
Are you?
year because I was like, y'all, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, y'all, why are y'all even on this show? Like, and then
Mhm.
or I should say you're on this show because Joya is pressed. But and I get it because she's older or whatever, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes because I'm kind of like he's not really he
Is
doesn't
she
really want to have a kid badly enough. So
is she older than him?
go ahead.
Is she older than
I
him?
don't I don't know what his I'm not sure what his age is because I think she's 37, I want to say.
Yeah, she is 37. I'm not sure how old
But
she
yeah,
is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, can check it, but
Yeah, I have to see after yeah, we have to look and see how old he is. But he don't seem to be stressed. He's like, I'm always gonna be able to knock somebody up, so I'm good.
Mhm. So true. So true. It's like, let's not trash this thing. I want to enjoy life. I want to travel. I want to do all those things. I'm like, go enjoy life with him. You have a child, But sometimes, I feel like she wants a child just so that she can be sure of the relationship. Sometimes women feel like, once you have a child with somebody, then the future of the longevity of this relationship is guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Right.
yeah. So I feel like that's
And
that
yeah, because that person has to be in your life because you have a kid together. So
right.
yeah, I think there is some of that. And it's like I kind of feel like, okay, if she would just it just kind of seems a little overbearing. It's like, all right, if you would just chill out, maybe he would get to that point. But
Mhm.
I think the pressure is a lot, especially if they've only been together a year. It's like, girl, he's still getting
Yes.
to know you.
Right. And it's if they both did not have children, then you might consider, but now you have a child and you have a child. Come on, enjoy life. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing too. If you both have children with other people and your relationship is newer, then there is going to be some of that fear like, okay, if this doesn't work out, now I'm going to have another kid with someone else that I still have to
Mm-mm.
coordinate with and all that
Mhm.
other stuff and it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I could see where um as a guy who's
Mhm.
probably paying child support, where you
Right.
might not want to deal, you want to be like, okay, let's get together, let's wait, let's make sure we're, and I guess she could still freeze her eggs or something if it's that
Right.
pressing of a thing. But
Mhm.
it's like, I mean, her son is already 11. So I was like, so it's not like your children are going to be like anywhere close in age anyway. So, like,
Right. And maybe that's another thing. That's another reason why she really wants a child right now. She's like, you know what? I don't want to wait for too long. I already have a 11-year-old. I don't want to wait until my son is going to college. That's when I'm now starting, to think of having a child. So I can see that. I can see that. But who knows? We'll see what happens.
yeah,
But
I
then,
mean, I get her.
yeah.
Yeah, I
But
agree with you. I get her point. Like, I get it that she's older. And if you want to have a kid, then yeah, you do want to have it before 40. But, he's sort of, he's not putting his foot down, but he's really like not there, like from what I can see. So it's like, okay, what you gonna do? Like, are you gonna continue to be with him and sweat him till he gets you pregnant? Or are you just gonna let the relationship develop?
that's true. But they're not even there. But unfortunately, the couples that are left, they're really not interesting to watch. Would you agree?
Well, I will say that really the whole the most interesting part of this episode for sure was Chance and Dunbar. I think the other dates were kind of, yeah, they were kind of like their meeting with Dr. Stacy was not that interesting, you know. Not that he doesn't need to cry or anything, but just wasn't that interesting. Although, we found out a little bit more about their backstory. So, yeah, so hopefully this new couple coming in next week can kind of spice it up a little bit. Cause yeah, I this episode, it was not filler, but it was not the most engaging. Cause at first I
Right.
was like, did I see everything? So yeah, so it was definitely, I feel like the the dates with your exes wasn't as interesting as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. It
It
was
was
not
just like
dramatic.
kind of, it was almost,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was more like talking to your cousin or something. It was kind of like, I mean, it was cute, it was fine, but it wasn't as, they kind of spiced it, and then it was just like, okay. And then because it wasn't any, because I think the whole thing about the exes is, what would have been interesting is it an ex, because some people have exes that they actually obviously still have some sort of spark with. So that's what you kind of would have thought, or that's what I thought. But then it's like, no, it's these exes where like we're clearly just friends. So we're just here to kind of chit chat. So that
Right.
was like, okay, but it was like, okay, we could you could just show us some cliff notes or something. We don't need to see the whole date. Some
No, I know.
clips.
I was like, I wanted the drama. I wanted the drama. I wanted the ex that, like James from Ready to Love. Like, give us something.
Yeah, yeah, or like that ex from, remember the ex from Ready to Love, where she was like, "Yeah, we just hooked up 2 weeks ago." Like that's
Yes,
the ex we want.
James, LJ's ex, LJ's ex. Yeah, give me something.
Yes, yes. We want the ex that still wants that person back. That's the
Yeah.
ex that we wanted to
Good
see.
ex is kind of
Not
like,
not the ex,
yeah.
not the ex
Not
that's like, "Oh, I'm happily married and I wish her the best." Like, okay, well, we don't need to see that.
First of all, that dude looked like, he's a senior citizen or something. I'm like, why are you bringing a senior citizen on the show? Like, don't do that.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You're
Yeah,
so
I
funny.
was
So
like,
yeah, I
uh-huh.
agree. It did kind of. I was like, okay. I was like, wait a minute. During most of it, I was like, where are Chance and Dunbar?
Can you imagine if Chance and Diana brought their exes? That would have been something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I would love to see Dunbar's ex. I can't. I mean, that would be great. And then, yeah, I mean, that would have been so interesting to see who Chance had dated in the past, to see both of their exes, because they both got a little bit stuff going on with them. So it
Girl,
would definitely have
that's
been
it.
interesting. But
Yeah, yeah.
but I wonder if our Chance and do you know, are Chance and Dunbar still together now?
Yes, they're engaged. Did you see them doing TikTok? They're engaged.
Oh no, I didn't see it. I didn't
Oh,
see it. Oh, okay,
yes.
cool.
And they're engaged.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right, go
So she's
ahead.
not
Go
dead. She's
ahead.
not
That's right.
disappeared.
Don't
She's
let
not
don't let the honorary Dr. Stacy stop you from doing what you want to do, girl. Go ahead. Oh gosh.
Yeah, be great.
You
Be
got to
great.
let that honorary degree get in us.
Yeah.
Mess their relationship.
Oh, listen.
Okay.
Did your depression just disappear? Yes, it did. I'm engaged now. What about that? What are you going to say? Miss me that, So,
Right. That's true. That's true. That's true. Although sometimes it'll be interesting to see, because sometimes I feel kind of like with Ready to Love and some other shows, sometimes I feel like the people put a ring on it just because just to save face. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'm like, y'all know y'all don't need to be together, but I get it. It's the end of the show and you don't want to be embarrassed. So, so it's interesting to see, kind of like on Married at First Sight. There's a lot of shows where it's kind of like the people just kind of go with it, I think, just not to save face. But it's interesting to see, the relationships that are going to stand the test of time. So, but if Chance and Dunbar are happy, then congratulations,
yeah,
because
congratulations to them.
they both seem crazy. So
They
so if
deserve
his crazy and her crazy match up, then that's good, because
they deserve each
it'll
other.
probably
Yeah,
save you
yes.
some other people. Exactly. I agree.
All right. So, what
So
are you
yes,
expecting
my dear.
next? Anything that you're looking forward to in the next episode?
I'm trying to remember. Oh, so the only thing that looked good was, well, not looked good. Well, obviously, we'll meet the new couple, so that'll be cool. I think what looked interesting was, um, I don't know if it's editing, the way they're kind of playing it with Ricky, Sheila feeding Ricky some food, and
Yes.
he's like, no, but then he lets her do it, of course, and then he comes back and tells Catherine. And so now that's interesting because it's like, okay, now finally Catherine seemed like she finally getting some spunk about her and is gonna, maybe say something to him and try to check him. So that looked interesting. But in all honesty, when they filmed it, it wasn't like some romantic feeding. It's just like, here, taste my food. So it wasn't, when you really saw it, it wasn't really that deep. But it was interesting.
Yeah, that couple is really surprising. It really surprises me because even removing that food crumb from the guy from the beer, it wasn't nothing. Like, why are you making it a big deal? It's not a big deal,
Right.
I don't know why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think with Ricky, what's interesting with Ricky is you see again another situation where he says no, and then the person kind of punks him, and he goes along with it anyway. So I think that's really his issue. It's like he's kind of afraid to speak his mind, and then he's kind of one of those people who wants to please everyone, and then somebody's going to have to get a short end of the stick because
somebody's going to get hurt. Right. Somebody's going to.
I think right now it's been Catherine, so it'll be interesting to see what Dr. Stacy.
Yes. Yeah. Right. I was.
So I did.
Yeah. What?
And what are you looking forward to for next week?
I am looking forward not to seeing those pink couches. I need them to change a scene. Like, I don't want to see them again. I really don't want to see that. Imagine. I really don't. I would prefer to see them playing cards or just playing basketball outside like the first time they were playing basketball. I was okay with that. Don't show me those pink couches again. I don't want to see that. Yeah, and I want to see, like we just said, I want to see Ricky, Ricky being, don't be a people pleaser. Yeah, just stand on your own, make your own decisions, and I think that's what Catherine has been wanting from him. I also don't want the Josh and the other girl to make, bring little things and make it like, such a big deal. Come on.
Right.
If you're getting to know somebody for the first year and you're already talking about, but again, I think that's around the same time they start talking about kids and all that. But if you cannot agree on that, then I don't see them continue because the guy is not ready to. I mean, in a marriage or in a relationship, you have to compromise. So I don't know what the compromise is gonna be because this one does not want children. This one wants wants children. I don't know what the compromise is. So then, that's gonna be interesting to watch.
I agree, my dear. I agree for sure.
Mm-hmm. We were hoping to have Goody over here. She went out on New York City and she was drinking with her friends. And she called me and she said, I'm going to set my alarm. I'm going to make sure that it looks like she did not. She's not going to get up. She's still sleeping.
Well, she is living her best life. Yeah. So that is great.
She is. All right, my friend. I will see you. I want you to. Are you still watching Grown and Gospel?
I will, I guess. I haven't been, but I will. I have been meaning to, but then I think
because
what day does it come on?
I think on the weekends. I haven't watched the new episode. Okay. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. It's ghetto.
Oh, I will.
It is like the church. It's fun. You have to watch it.
Okay, I'll definitely catch up with it. Are you watching another one I was in and out of? Are you watching what you call the Bell Collective?
Oh my gosh, it's coming up.
Yeah, it is coming back. I haven't. I wanted to watch it because they're in Jackson and I went to Jackson State and stuff. So every time I talk to my friends in Jackson, I'm like, do you know these people? So I always want to watch it. So I've seen some of it, but yeah.
Do they know them?
Yeah, some of my friends, she knew a couple of the people, because like
we're
older, we're grown, so yeah.
And the thing is, you don't have 2 seasons to watch just so you can see where they're coming from, because this one is a season 3.
Yeah, and I saw some of season 2, I think. So yeah, so I actually might start watching that again. So I'm not totally behind on that, but I did watch some of it because I was like, oh, this is good. And it's something about it that's so like homey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like there's something about it where it doesn't quite feel so produced. It just feels like,
right,
oh, okay, like,
right.
whatever.
It
So
is.
there's something
No,
it does have a really nice flavor to it. So yeah.
it does. And one of the
And
guys
then
over there called Glenn. Glenn is the husband to Latasha. He keeps cheating on her, but I love him. I love him.
yeah, I think I saw that one.
It's he's not good. He's not a good boy, but I just don't know why I like him very much. And the girl is hurting, so I
Of
want you to.
course.
Anywho, I will see you again then. We'll see what we can do together.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you want to, I'll get caught up on Grown and Gospel because I
Please,
did want to. The trailers seemed great, so I'll watch it. And then if you guys want to review it, let me
yes,
know.
yes. I mentioned that in our group, the three of us, and I mentioned that I need you to, watch it, and then we can, it's fun. It's fun.
Okay. All right. Let's do it,
Girlfriend,
Chica.
thank you for
Sounds
stopping
good.
by. Everybody go follow Exactly Erica on social media, on YouTube, on IG. She is the Exactly Erica. Bye, girlfriend.
Thank you. Bye. Ciao for now, folks.
All right. Bye. Thank you, Erica, for stopping by. We hope to have Goody over here. Goody keeps me, but hopefully she'll come by next time. I'm your girl, Mother from Mama, the undisputed African queen. Thanks, guys, for watching. Enjoy your week ahead. Have a blessed week, and I will see you guys again. Bye.